Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and today we are going to fly the latest update of the Flight Sim Labs Airbus A321neo. The update just released and they have finally added the Pratt & Whitney engines together with a brand new cabin and a good chunk of system updates and fixes. We're going to take her on a little VATSIM flight from Frankfurt to Hamburg on a real-world Condor service, operated usually by A320s, sometimes rarely also by A321s. So pretty much fully realistic flight that we are going to do today. Alright, but it is getting a little bit loud up here, so how about we just quickly run up and get into our aircraft. Hello there. Okay, no comment on that. Yeah. Let's just run in and board our plane. So, brand new cabin. We will have a look at it in a little bit more detail later on. For now, let's just find our way into the cockpit to get started, since VATSIM controllers don't stay online for too many hours. If this video becomes one of the longer ones, then my apologies for that. I do want to go over everything in detail over here and enjoy the brand new aircraft. So let's go ahead and start with a couple of basics. That's the engine master levers off, mode selector norm, thrust levers idle. Then the weather radar is turned off, landing gear lever is down, and the wipers are off. Battery voltage is above 25.5 on each side here, so let's go ahead and turn the batteries on. And then we are currently missing an external power unit, so we'll have to start the APU up here. So let's do the APU fire test, and that's all we're going to get, an APU master and starter. Alright, so APU start in progress. While all of that's going on, let's have a very quick look into the electronic flight bag and grab our briefing documents so that we can get you guys filled in on our flight. So, this is what today's flight is going to look like. As you can see, we've got moderate turbulence forecast throughout the entire flight from Frankfurt northbound to Hamburg, and then looking into the local weather conditions, we've got Frankfurt, beautiful weather, easterly winds, so probably runway 07 in use, and then later on we got Hamburg, where we are going to have generally good weather conditions. Runway 15 in use at the moment, negative temperatures, so cold temperature correction will have to be applied. And overall, the weather forecast is looking quite good for the evening with broken clouds and 400. Not nice, but flyable. The same goes for our alternate in Hannover, not actually very good, but within limits, so that's all good. Alright then, let's scroll a little bit further upwards and have a look into the flight plan itself. So, Condor 3 Papa Kilo will be our call sign, departing Frankfurt at 2010 UTC, arriving in Hamburg at 2116, and our takeoff weight is going to be 72 tons, cruising in flight level 330. Then let's go down a little bit to the fuel section, which is just where the Neo absolutely shines. 4.6 tons of fuel plus taxi makes it 4.8. The question is, do we need any more than that? And I honestly do not think we will. But due to the weather, let's take fuel for an extra approach, 800 on top. So we're at 4.9 plus 800. Give me 5.7 tons of fuel for today's service. Alright, with that decided, the APU has completed its startup sequence. Let's also start the timer already for 2 minutes over here. Then the lights can all come on, and that's probably the most important thing to do in the beginning over here. So we got that, intake lights are coming on, floodlights are coming on, and here's already one of the differences from the Neo to the CO. The Neo has an LED option over here, bringing us a whitish light. However, that is customizable by the airline. You can also get the yellowish lights, which you can also select in the FSL Labs. Alright. With that done, let's head down into the MCDU, and down here we got a couple of things to do today. So let's start on the MCDU menu and go down into the ATSU. Then we go to AOC menu, in it, and down here Condor 4173 is there. So let's press data request. That stuff is in progress. Then we can already head to the crew details. So A330 driver is going to be the captain, that's automatically been filled, and then we'll say 330 FO for our co-pilot, and return to init, departing Frankfurt, arriving in Hamburg. That is looking fantastic. Alright, good. Then let's go to OFP data. Block fuel 4.8 is standard. We said we wanted 800 more, so that's 5,600 kilos. We can refuel that through... Interesting, GSX is actually not available as an option here. Okay, well, then we will be using automatic. Alright, good. So we can send that stuff. So OFP data is out. Fuel. Now that is going to come in later once the refueling is complete. Then we can go for boarding. And today we are looking at 200 passengers. And let's see what our zero fuel weight is supposed to be. 69.4. So we got 69.7 like that. Okay, and you can first of all go for catering, please. And then boarding can begin. Let's say right now it's 1947, so let's say boarding at 1950. Alright, that's also looking good, and that is requested. Perfect. So we got that lovely stuff done. Then let's see if we can already grab a departure rate down here. So Frankfurt departure rate is Delta, runway 7 center and 18, aircraft departing 18, expect intersection from Mike, blah blah blah. No, wrong button. Okay, so departing from 07 center, expect Lima 17, that's due to our current construction site. Transition level 70, wind 06010, that's all looking good. QNH is 990. So let's just go ahead and set that, please. (990) set once and set twice. Nice. Okay, good. Then let's also go ahead and turn the radios up. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, lovely. So 2 minutes are over. Then we can switch the APU bleed on. ADRs 1, 2, 3. Are on. Then let's have a quick look. What is my... into the tach log. Down here we got door 1 unlocked decal. Okay, in poor condition, not a problem at all, so the aircraft's technical status is fine. Alright, beautiful. So that stuff is done. Then, very quick check over here. Nav L1 discrepancy, yep, that is fine. We'll be fixing that in a moment. So 990 set on the right side as well, please, like that. Nice. Okay, so the flight is initialized, everything is done down here in the A cars. And by the way, if you're wondering, in the background you are hearing those noises, that's me restarting SimApp Pro because something didn't quite work there the way that I intended. Okay. Alrighty, so we got that good stuff done. Then let's move on and go down into our aircraft's acceptance. So recall for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Showing normal. Oxygen is good. Hydraulics are good. Engine oil. Oh god, find that FADEC switch. Here we go. Okay, FADEC ground power, oil quantity is looking good. Perfect. And back off again. Lovely. Okay, so that stuff's done. Then all we need is the takeoff calculation. So let's see what we got down here. Frankfurt 07 center, Lima 17. We'll take everything as it is. Calculate. Incredibly high takeoff speeds for no reason at all. That's still a bug that I hope they are going to work on. But the rest is looking good, so we know that we can depart, and that's all I need down here. Okay, lovely. So that good stuff is done. Then let's move on into the cockpit preparation. So, Crew supply on, voice recorder on, CBR test. Should be good. Evacuation switch on captain only. Lights on. How's the fueling going? 5.1, so still in progress. Batteries off, then on again. And they are charging perfectly. I like that. Okay, refueling, still not completed, so be it. Engine fire tests. Looking good for engine number 1. And looking good for engine number 2. Okay, on the right hand side everything is set, leading us down here. QNH is set. It's the 5th of February 2026 today. The runway is going to be dry. Any skid on, and then moving further down. Frequencies 122.035. Probably 121.855, I suppose. 121.5 is already down there. Transmitting VHF 1, listening to VHF 1 and 2, and also to the interphone. The weather radar is pre-selected. Down here everything is set, and on the right hand side everything is set. Okay, perfect. Then we can go right into our flight plan and MCDU setup. So let's get the SimBrief plan open right next to it, and then let's get going. Okay, so A321-200 Pratt & Whitney engine, nav database is up to date, GPS primary lost, flight plan uplink is all checked. Then let's have a look. We're going from Frankfurt to Hamburg, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, car standings 15, flight level 330, that's all looking fantastic. So, departure, runway 7 center, and we're departing via the Maroon 6 Echo departure. And for Hamburg, we're arriving with an ILS approach runway 15 and the Nolgo 3 Delta arrival. Alright, and insert. Then, copy active, and Frax 1 is gonna be the emergency point, based on Frankfurt 07 center, runway track 066, 25 miles straight ahead. PVD waypoint store, in there, hold 066, right. Not allowed because the IRS alignment isn't complete yet. The real one does the same, by the way. But interestingly enough, it still inserts the hold anyway. No comment. Okay, so new destination Frankfurt, arrival ILS Zulu runway 07 center, and that's the engine out flight plan done. Then fix info Frankfurt 07 center with the radial 066 and Frax 1. Okay, so that stuff's in. Then let's go on to the init page, and I'm sure we do have a preliminary load sheet somewhere. Oh, no, didn't mean to press that, neither that, but this. Okay, it is Delta, we had that, load sheet. So, that's edition number 1, Frankfurt to Hamburg on the Delta Alpha November Mike Yankee, which should be our plane. 2 pilots, 5 cabin crews, 69.7 and 22.8. Like that, block fuel 5.6. Average 20 knots tailwind is looking good. For the contingency, it's 0.2, alternate 1.3, and final 1.1. Okay, that's looking good, giving us 15 minutes extra, exactly as intended. Okay, config 2 takeoff, flex 64 degrees. Like this, and then we've got takeoff shift off. Is that written anywhere here? Oh yeah, there, 688. Like that, and takeoff speeds 158, 158, 158. Noise abatement procedure 2 is down here. Engine out acceleration in 1500 above the ground, please. No D-rate is looking good. Frankfurt 07 center is in here, and that's all looking fantastic. Great. So that's our FMS setup completed. Let's go data, next page, pilot route and store active.
Frankfurt delivery, fraction 221, good evening, we are ready for pushback.
So, we are going from Frankfurt to Hamburg, runway 07 center, Maroon 6 Echo to Maroon, Yankee 150 Tolby, direct Saarstedt, Papa 605 Nolgo arrival. That's all looking fantastic. This is how that should look like, and that way you can easily check that the uplinked flight plan actually matches the flight plan that's been filed by your company. Okay, so let's quickly check our SID as well. So, Navigraph charts, please.
Clearance is still valid.
Import, Frankfurt. So we need a couple of taxi charts, which apparently have been pinned automatically, and which we can't even unpin. Lovely. So, Maroon 6 Echo on off departure, in the night mode please. That's straight at to Delta Foxtrot 139er, which we got, then a left turn, Delta Foxtrot 146, max 210 above 1430, and that's looking good. And then we continue via Odaga, Teska, Alidi and Maroon, and that is looking fantastic. Alright, so transition altitude 5000 is checked, initial climb clearance 5000 as well. Like that, and with that our setup is basically done over here. Right, that load sheet can be accepted down here, and we do have a message with a slot at 2023, so there's plenty of time left. Okay, lovely. So, refueling is complete. And let's turn all that stuff on.
Lufthansa 4, Tango, Frankfurt delivery, schönen guten Abend. Startup approved for push contact, Airline 11855, schönen Flug, ciao.
Okay, they're hard at work in the back there, then let's go ahead and request our IFR clearance. Oh, and the fuel report is here, 3764. Density 0.08, that looks good. Fuel difference 0.1, that's fine. Send the fuel report, please. Thank you. And then let's see, we've got ATIS information Delta. Okay, so ATC request, pre-departure clearance, ATIS Delta, flight number is Condor, what are we? 3 Papa Kilo. And our gate is Victor. What is it actually? 153. Okay, so Victor 153. Let's say guten Abend and send. So that thing's out. Just one quick check to make sure that we are actually sending this to VATSIM. If we go to the COM menu down here and then VHF3 data mode, on here, yep, I've sent it to say intentions accidentally. See, over here you can set exactly which data you want to use. So if we're not getting any clearance in return right now, then that is probably the reason why. So might just about have to send that again. So, pre-departure clearance, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, Victor 153, I already forgot the ATIS again, Delta. Yeah, surprise, I sent it to say intentions, meant to send it to VATSIM, so that couldn't work. Alright, so, ATIS, Delta. So let's send that thing again, and this time we should actually get a clearance back. Okay, I like it. In the meantime, while we're waiting for the clearance to arrive, let's go ahead and do our departure briefing, please. So today we're departing Frankfurt, runway 07 Center, Lima 17 intersection, and the initial climb is 5,000, MSA 4,300, and for our extra fuel and time we're carrying 15 minutes on the former 600 kilos. Now we've got no hotspots for our taxi routing, and stop margin for the rejected takeoff is 115 meters, I believe. Yep, 114, okay. Engine out, sit straight at Frux 3, climbing 5,000. 4,000 is fine as well, as long as they keep us in the south. Now, we are not going to do anything special, we do not have anything non-standard, and I've got no threats for today's departure. Anything from your side? No? Beautiful, then that's our briefing complete. Okay, so let's see. We got clearance received, being processed, standby, and here's our PDC. Clear to Hamburg via 07 Center, Maroon 6 Echo, and we got 07 Center, Maroon 6 Echo is confirmed. Squawk 1000. And report ready on 122035, Gouda. Alright, accept. With that, our PDC is accepted, and then we can go ahead with our checklists, please. So, cockpit preparation checklist. Gear bits and covers removed. Fuel quantity 5,560 kilograms. Balanced. Seatbelts on. ADRs. No. Give it to me over here. Nav and Baroref QNH 9990. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Alright, so down here we got clearance confirmed. Beautiful. With that, our IFR clearance is on board. Alright then, lovely. All the good stuff is done, so let's go ahead and start saying hello to our passengers. Actually, how's the boarding going? Can we see that anywhere? Don't think we actually can. Well, let's see. ATSU, AOC menu, boarding. No, it doesn't show us over there. Maybe if you go directly into the options. Payload. Doesn't say there either. Okay. Too bad. Would be nice to see how the boarding's going, so that we know when we're actually ready to go. But okay. For now, cabin doors are still open, and everything's still in progress. Okay. Well, nice. Then should be completed any moment, so I'll just do a very quick PA down here. Liebe Fluggäste, einen schönen guten Abend aus dem Cockpit. Hier spricht Ihr Kapitän. Mein Name ist Emanuel und im Namen der Condor darf ich Sie ganz herzlich an Bord unseres A321 auf unserem Flug nach Hamburg willkommen heißen. Flugzeit heute circa 50 Minuten, wir erwarten einen ruhigen Flug und dann eine pünktliche Ankunft. Wir bedanken uns jetzt ganz herzlich, dass Sie unsere Gäste sind. Lehnen Sie sich zurück, genießen Sie den Flug mit uns und wir melden uns im Anflug mit den neuesten Wetterdaten bei Ihnen. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit und noch einmal herzlich willkommen an Bord. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening from flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emanuel, and in the name of Condor, welcome aboard our Airbus A321 on our flight to Hamburg. Today's flight time is going to be approximately 50 minutes, expecting a smooth flight and an on-time arrival. We'll get back to you with the latest weather when we start the approach into our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. And if there is anything we can do for you to make it more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew members. Thank you very much for your attention, and again, welcome aboard. Okay, so the cabin is covered. Then, well, all we need is for the boarding to finish, and I think I am going to cut this short. So let's go down, ATSU, boarding, that is looking good, request, and instant. Alright, that way boarding should pretty much be completed now. Yep, here's the load sheet. And that thing is in compliance with edition number 1. So we got 69.7, which checks, and 23.4. Alright, and that gives us a takeoff weight of 75.1, which checks against the load sheet, 195 passengers and 0 infants. Great, that thing is accepted. 21.6 is the CG. What did we have in here? 21.0, yeah, close enough. Then trim 2 units and we can keep the rest. Okay, check takeoff data. It is checked. Perfect, then we are done. Okay, lovely. So everything is completed over here. Let's go ahead and call air traffic control for our startup clearance. Frankfurt delivery, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, request startup.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, startup is approved for taxi, contact apron 11855, bye-bye.
Startup approved, 121.855, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, schönen Abend, tschüss. Okay, 11855 and then 119. Oh god, what am I doing here?
Ready for push.
Squawk 1000, yep, that should have been there. 119780 is probably going to be next. Okay.
Swiss 1 Lima Kilo, Frankfurt delivery, good day. Startup is approved for pushback, contact apron 121.855.
So, transponder is on, and then we are ready to go.
Thanks for the service.
Default start checklist, park and brake,
Sure.
set, takeoff speeds and thrust. We've got V1 158, VR 158, V2 158, flex 64. Windows are closed, and the beacon is on. Before start checklist complete. Ground from cockpit. Please confirm all doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment removed, and the bypass pin is installed. That's all confirmed. Roger, then we're ready for engine start. Sequence will be 1 then 2, and we'll begin with engine number 1 now. Clear number 1. Okay, engine 1 start. So, Pratt & Whitney engines, if they're warm, they may need a cooling cycle. Currently they are completely cold, so we don't need to worry about that stuff. Motoring is in progress. And we do have another, but very short motoring since it's cold temperatures. That's totally fine. And then we have another company message. Let's just see what that is. Second load sheet. But still in compliance, and that seems to be exactly the same. Alright, we can accept this. Thank you.
Lufthansa 66 Kilo 1, PTC is sent, please wait 1 or 2 minutes, and if no notification then please revert to voice.
Okay, that looks like a good start on engine number 1, starting engine 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your
Lufthansa 6 Tango Zulu request.
Okay, starting the timer down here. I just want to see how long the engine start is actually going to take.
Lufthansa 6 Tango Zulu, Frankfurt delivery, good day. Oh,
So, 10%, that's where it's motoring. Again, very cold engine, so it doesn't take very long.
Contact apron 11855.
Startup approved, apron or ground on 121.855, Lufthansa 6 Tango Zulu, danke, guten Abend.
all carry baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply
Ground, good
fails,
evening, Lufthansa 6 Tango Zulu.
Alright, and that is a good engine start. So ground, you're clear to disconnect. Please prepare the airplane for taxi. See you with a clear signal on the left hand side and have a good day. Bye bye.
Pushback approved, area 1. Pushback approved, area 1, Lufthansa 6 Tango Zulu.
Okay, trim should be up 2 units.
If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it
Like
over your head.
that.
Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together.
Alright, clear signal is, well, we pretend we've seen it, and after start checklist. Anti-ice off, ecom status checked, pitch trim 21.6%, rudder trim neutral, after start checklist complete.
There is a light and whistle for attracting attention.
Frankfurt Apron, schönen guten Abend, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, request taxi.
Your tray table must now be stowed.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo Namens, turn right, join Lima, hold short, Lima 17.
Right on Lima, hold short Lima 17, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. Okay, that's as expected.
404, contact tower 118780, schönen Abend, ciao.
Tower 1878, danke für den Service, Lufthansa.
And the park and brake is off. I have a feeling that they did not remove the chocks, so let's just see that real quick. Options, external controls, yeah, chocks, disconnect, here we go. Okay, now it should work. So let's try that again. Here we go. Brake check. Pressure 0. So off to the right hand side and then to Lima 17. I'll probably always forget. FS Labs, always gotta press that pedal disconnect button to get pedal control. And this is looking great so far. Takeoff feels quite a bit different than it does in the Phoenix. I don't really want to comment on which one is better without having an actual hardware tiller, so hurry up, wind control. Okay, flight control track. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. And neutral. Okay, rudder. Full left. Full right. And neutral.
Lufthansa 6 Tango Zulu request.
Okay. So, I've got no changes to the takeoff briefing.
Lufthansa 6
Everything stays the way it is.
November 5, hold short of Lima.
Taxi by November 5, hold short of Lima, Lufthansa 6 Tango Zulu.
And taxi checklist. Where are we now? Lima 14, so a little bit
Condor
further.
3 Papa Kilo, contact tower 118780, schönen Abend, ciao.
118780, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, tschüss. Okay, so taxi checklist, flight controls checked, flap setting, config 2, radar and predictive wind shear, on and auto, engine mode selector, norm, ecam memo, takeoff, no blue, taxi checklist complete. Frankfurt Tower, schönen guten Abend, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, ready for departure. So that's Lima 16, we go one further to Lima 17. Ah, 11878.
Zero up, schönen Abend noch, ciao.
Swiss von dem Kinder.
Frankfurt Tower, schönen guten Abend, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, ready for departure. That is unreadable.
Papa Kilo Tower, hello, via Lima 17 with 070 degrees, 10 knots, runway 07 center, clear for takeoff.
Well, Lima 17, runway 07 center, clear for takeoff, Condor 3 Papa Kilo.
Frankfurt Tower, hello, Lufthansa 2 Yankee Charlie.
That came at the very right moment.
The 2 Yankee
Okay.
Charlie, Frankfurt Tower, hello.
Transponder,
After departing
Max.
A321, line up runway 07 center, via Lima 17 behind.
and the approach is
After departing
clear.
aircraft,
The approaching
line up
traffic
runway
is to the different
07
runway.
center.
Lineup checklist. Takeoff runway 07 center, Lima 17, TCAS, Tara, PAX 1 and 2, off. Lineup checklist complete.
Understand that the Fox is used, alright?
On runway
07 Delta Foxtrot Tower, hello.
center.
That's checked
The
and ready.
Radar 136, decimal 130.
Takeoff.
136, 130, Lufthansa Boston Ford, Shutdown. Swiss 56607, left blockaded on Papa 6.
Manflex 64, SRS, auto thrust blue. Thrust set.
Taxi November 11, Swiss 566.
Frankfurt Tower, guten Abend.
100 knots,
Lufthansa
checked.
3 von einer Yankee 7 Left.
Those speeds feel like an A330. V1 rotate. Positive climb. Gear
Tower,
up.
guten Abend. Die Lufthansa
Nav,
3 von einer Yankee
checked.
7 Left.
The one to Foxtrot Romeo, still on frequency.
Man, I love the power of that aircraft.
On the Papa Kilo, maintain visual separation to terrain until passing 2,800 feet, turn left heading 350.
Visual separation until 2800, left 350, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. Okay, pull heading 350. That's because of the Lufthansa straight ahead there. Okay, that's gonna lead us straight over the city. I like it. Okay, autopilot 1, flaps 1. Speed check, flaps 1. Why is it retracting them all the way? That's interesting. You should have gone to 1 plus F, like that. Thanks.
On November, Able Mike.
1 Kilo Tower, hello, line up on 8.
Okay, approaching. Vertical speed.
1 Kilo, thank you, contact Langen later now, 120-155, ciao.
120-155, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, ciao.
Tower, good evening, Lufthansa 6 Tango Zulu on Lima.
6 Tango Zulu, hello, join Lima 117.
Why is that not changing the frequency?
Join.
Now it's working.
Very slow because we have 1 engine.
Okay, flaps 0. Speed check, flaps 0.
Off the rain, turn for the right, heading 180. Climb altitude 5,000 feet when able, and I must still lost 1 engine.
Oh god, welcome to Vapzin.
Okay, thank you.
Long radar schon genannt, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, approaching 5000, heading 350. Alt.
3 Papa Kilo, radar contact back to flight level 130 and on navigation direct Tesca.
Climb level 130, direct Tesca, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. First climb, open climb 13000 blue.
Lufthansa Cargo 2535.
Tesca.
Reduce speed 250 knots.
Nav.
250 not 250.
Climb and set standard.
Lufthansa 4 Mike Alpha, Langen radar.
Done a cross check, passing flight level 67 now. Checked.
Lufthansa 12 Foxtrot Romeo, turn right, heading 2.
Alright, so that was an interesting one. That Lufthansa 12 Fox Romeo that just turned right into our departure path there. Don't ask me how that got there, I've got absolutely no idea.
Lufthansa 12 Foxtrot Romeo, you can expect runway 07 center to land. Expect that Zulu, runway 07 center. And are you ready to get vectors to the approach, or do you need some time for checklist?
Alright.
We're gonna need some time for checklist, but we expect ILS for 27.
I gotta say that one doesn't sound too bad from ATC, like asking that pilot whether he needs additional time for checklists or if he's ready for the approach. Yeah, that's good controlling. 127-925, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, ciao.
FM, call 5.
So, passing 100. Lights off, we'll wait a bit with the signs.
Easy 440 is identified, cleared income.
So, clear and copy, please.
Descend to flight level 110 on conversion, reduce speed 280 knots.
So, cruising 330, optimum 350, and maximum 360. That looks good to me.
Lufthansa 4 Tango Tango, contact Bremen 125025.
125-025, das ist gut. 4 Tango Tango, danke schön.
Lufthansa 1 Fox Fox, climb to flight level 180.
Confirm flight level 180, we are at 250, Lufthansa 1 Fox Fox Fox.
Lufthansa 1 Fox Fox, negative, level 280.
Level 280, Lufthansa 1 Fox Fox Fox.
Emirates 150, contact
Ah, it
radar,
does sound busy.
010.
Speed, vertical speed.
Lufthansa 9er Delta, disregard.
Lang schon genannt, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, passing level 118, climbing 130.
Lufthansa 3 Mike Alpha, descend to flight level 2, correction 130,
1000 to go.
2,500 feet per minute or greater.
Descend 130 at 2,500 feet per minute or greater, Lufthansa 3 Mike Alpha.
Langeradar, good afternoon, flight 321, flight level 30 in Pushback with you.
He seems a little overloaded.
Lufthansa 1 Charlie Tango, contact Bremen 125025.
125, could you rotate the figures please?
125.025.
025, thank you.
Beep at 659 identified.
Lang, schönen guten Abend. Condor 3 Papa Kilo, flight level 128, climbing 130. All star.
Beeline 5 Alpha Hotel, contact arrival 120.8.
Why is he ignoring me?
10805, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, radar contact, climb flight level 280.
Climbing flight level 280, Condor 3 Papa Kilo.
So, Flight 3 Mike Alpha,
Yeah, that guy is on guard.
And rate of descent 1000.
You're on guard.
Level 140, 1000 people looking there,
Langradar lower, Lufthansa 2.
Okay, so flight level 280 blue, thrust climb, climb.
990, climbing 130.
Alright, I think it is rather smooth for the time being, so let's release the passengers. Then let's also turn those cockpit lights up a little bit, and well, I'd say for now, since we are kind of clear of the initial departure area here, how about we go to the back and have a look at the brand new cabin that FS Labs have added to the aircraft.
Contact mission radar 133.565, Lufthansa Delta.
So,
Lufthansa 3 Mike Alpha, contact Frankfurt 120.
here's what it looks like. Unfortunately, the flight attendant panel seems to be not simulated here, so we can't actually control those lights, but have a look at that. Beautiful ceiling, beautiful level of detail everywhere here, and if we just take a seat somewhere, provided to let us, there seem to be invisible walls here. Hello, I want to move.
Condor 3 Yankee November.
Okay, that's looking better.
Condor 3 Yankee November identified.
That actually looks pretty nice, doesn't it?
To flight level
Oh, and no, wait a moment, I didn't do that. For a moment I was like, did I operate that blind? No, I didn't. Okay, well then we gotta choose this one. The wings are definitely Hello. The wings are definitely flexing right now. So they did add that. Nicely done effects from the reading lights as well here, but the reading light doesn't seem to be on. Well, I'm sure that they will do additional updates, but I really gotta say, it's a beautiful looking cabin. We'll definitely have a look at that in daylight at some point in time as well, for the time being. During the night, it's really a beautiful one. The same, by the way, goes for the galleys as well. If you have a look at over here at all the equipment and everything you can find here. Same goes for the other side, for the stowage boxes and everything. And I just can't help myself but absolutely love the details on the ceiling over here. They've just done a fantastic job with that. Absolutely fantastic job. The only thing that is a little strange here is the ground. Like, I haven't seen many aircraft, I really haven't seen many aircraft with a ground like this, or with a floor like this, with wood and the galleys. Like, I would imagine that that stretches pretty quickly under those trolleys and the constant work that's going on there. But I'm sure there is a reason they've done that. In any case, beautiful cabin. Only one strange thing here, like when you go to the cockpit and look back, then you suddenly see the beacon flashing in the middle of the cabin. Don't ask me why that is, but so be it. Okay, so can we close the door?
Ja, Friese 125, wollen Sie da durchfliegen?
Friese 125 würde dann durchfliegen für Landung von Egelsbach, für Tango, also Tango-Einflug, über Tango einfliegen für Landung.
Ruf zurück.
That was a nice one. That Friese says like, yeah, we're 5 minutes in front of airspace Delta. And ATC's like, so you want to cross it? That's what I really like at times. Alright, let's just control those lights a bit, because the VHF buttons here seem a little strong. Now, something that's really worth mentioning here is that we got an ADS-B in and out capability in this aircraft, and what that means is that, technically speaking,
Verstanden.
and
Contact Bremen Radar 125 decimal 025.
125025, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, drop.
Easy 6.
Descend to flight level 250.
Even to flight level 250.
With Condor correction, that is Clever 7809, contact Bremen Radar 126 decimal 325.
126, 325, 7809, thank you, bye.
Ocean 7 on the Victor, contact Bremen Radar 126 decimal 325.
Okay, let's see if he's got CPDLC. ATC-COM, connection, notification, Echo Delta, Whiskey, Sierra, notify, notified, excellent. Bremen Radar, schon genannt, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, flight level 252, climbing 280.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, will go down to identified. With expect flight level 280 is cruising level.
Roger. Okay, that's rather low, but yeah, so be it. So 280 is in there, new cruise out 280, and then 280 is in here. Alright, current ATC unit, Echo Delta Whiskey Sierra, close, thank you.
With the 2 Victor Alpha, we'll be direct to Zipso. 2 Victor Alpha, descend to flight level.
Alrighty. So, what else can we do at the moment? Where's the top of descent? Like, yeah, 80 miles out, almost. So let's just go ahead and get our destination ATIS already. So, arrival ATIS in progress. And now, while we're waiting for that to arrive, let's have a very quick look at some of the TCAS functionality of this aircraft. You can see we got the traffic selector here. And you can actually use that one to select different aircraft. And then, going to the MCDU menu, we got the traffic button down here. Using that, we can actually get more information on any of the traffic that we got down here. So, first of all, a couple of configuration options that are available here. I'll start. So, first of all, a couple of configuration options that are available here. You can turn the flight ID on and off. That way you kind of switch it between conventional TCAS indications and the enhanced indications of the ADS-B system, Alt Cruise. Then you can also completely turn it off, then you just really have standard TCAS systems. Let's also switch that to below. So that's what you can do here. Now, if we go on an aircraft, let's say for example Lufthansa 6 or 806 that we've selected up there, we can get more information on that particular target on this page down here. You can also select or deselect it. Right now I've selected it, and now you can see it is marking that aircraft on our nav display there as well. So that's some pretty nice stuff that we got there. Now, let's go ahead and have a look at some of the data that we get for those aircraft. We get the bearing and the distance from us. We get the heading and the track of that aircraft. We get to know what kind of wake turbulence category that aircraft fits into. And of course, the altitude, the ground speed, and the vertical speed of the desired target. Now, we can scroll up and down between all the different aircraft. So right now, for example, we selected Lufthansa 2 Yankee Charlie. Then we can move further to that Fox Yankee India 321, and so on. You can also do that using the traffic selector up here, but you can see that regardless of which one I select, we have previously marked that Lufthansa using the select traffic button, so he keeps showing in blue on our nav display. We can of course just simply deselect them. There he is, Lufthansa 608, deselect traffic, and now he is deselected again. So that's a pretty useful thing there for when ATC wants you to look out for any aircraft, or if you hear something on the radio and you just want to know what is actually going on around you. So that's pretty cool stuff that we got with the enhanced TCAS system here. Very nice option. Very, very nice option indeed. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a look into the arrival ATIS. Hamburg ATIS Romeo at 1950, so that thing is like 40 minutes old. Landing runway 15. Runway condition at 1940 is runway condition code 5. Deposit wet 100%.
Lufthansa 1390, descent flight level 250.
Alright, ACDM in use, blah blah blah, wind 100 at 7, temperature -3, QNH 9905. So let's just set that QNH. So that's set. And then let's just switch over to AP2 so that we can set it here. The reason I'm switching the autopilot is so that we don't get the altitude alert when the QNH is changing. Alright, 9905, selected everywhere, and here we go. Well then, let's go ahead and start having a look into our arrival. So, Hamburg, star. Well, let's see what they pinned automatically. Nolgo 3 Delta is looking good. And ILS 15. So let's start with the Nolgo 3 Delta.
Thanks for confirmation, 125855, ciao.
Did I just hear a descent?
And Lufthansa 458, I have a contact.
No, altimeter setting.
On you.
Oh, that is correct. That's all standard.
I have a contact from you, well, the PDC.
Yeah, you are connected to PTC Echo.
Thank you.
I'm just switching that, I've just changed the RAS settings in order to actually disable the altimeter check. There seems to be some bug involved with that, but we're looking good.
Operator, good evening, flight 321, flight level 150, inbound routing with you.
Alright, so all that lovely stuff is done, then let's go ahead and start preparing for the arrival.
Clear to Vera 1 Zulu, arrival expect 09 left.
So we got Nolgo between 4000 and 110, that's looking good. Then we continue to 406, above 4000, maximum 220. And then through the downwind with the edge points in 416 and 455. Yep, 416, 455. Towards the final for an ILS approach to runway 15. Starting at Devot in 3000, 3-degree glide slope. And we've got Devot 3000 and also 3-degree glide slope. We go down to the minimum and then the missed approach is straight at 149 until crossing radial 223 from Hamburg and then left turn to the station climbing 4000. And we go straight ahead to Hamburg radial 223 and then left turn to the station climbing 4000. That is looking beautiful. Alright, nice.
126325.
Yeah, we are entering the destination data. So we are looking at Hamburg 15 like that. For the descent, 0.69270. Is that alright? Now let's make it 0.71 and 300. Just in order not to annoy any other VATSIM traffic here, since VATSIM pilots are generally flying very fast. Okay, QNH 9905, temperature -3 and the wind 100 at 7. Okay, let's find our minimums. And that is, well, we're at Cat Delta, so 265, that's 212 above the ground. And since we are at Cat Delta, well, and since we are flying in cold temperature, that's what I meant to say, we also need some cold temperature correction. So looking at that table over here, 200 feet, and temperature is around between 0 and -10. We need to add 20 feet, so that makes our minimum 285.
2135 descent to flight level.
Okay, that's looking good. Then let's have a look over here again. The MSA is 2200, so again, cold temperature correction. Let's see what we are gonna get. 2000 temperature between 0 and -10, so we add about, let's say, 160 feet. So the new minimum simply becomes 2000, or the new MSA becomes 2400 feet. So anything below that needs correction, but since we only have 3000 over here, we don't need to correct that, so easy going. Alright, cool. So engine out, acceleration 2400. Normal go-around is looking fantastic. Extra fuel 27 minutes, that's great as well. Secondary flight plan, copy active, that's all we need. Then let's see about the landing data. So, Hamburg, weather, yeah, well, it's a little bit more conservative, that's okay. Conflict full, reverse and none, anti-ice will definitely be on, and air conditioning on. Let's see about the landing weight. Let's see if the Airbus trick works here in the FS labs. Go secondary, in it, next page. Well, this is the page that I've been looking for. Let's enter that zero fuel weight NCG data. That should have been there automatically. And that should have gotten us a landing weight. The page is there, but it's not calculating anything. So that is the bug. The real one would show you your landing weight there. But okay, 3.4 on arrival, that means we burn 500 kilos, so we end up at 73.1. Let's make it 73.2 just to be safe here. Right, 73.2, 1.5. And that's looking good. Calculate. So let's see what we got. And rather, let's see where we actually want to vacate. So, airport, 1.5. We want to vacate either down here, Echo 4, or better, down here, Alpha 6. And Alpha 6 is 2,730 meters. So if we choose auto brake low, that works rather well. Oh. Descent to flight level 250. Welcome, send. And received by ATC. Thrust idle is sent out, flight level 250 blue. Mach. Oh, you're descending a little quick there. Should only be 1,000 feet a minute, please. Alright, and close. Okay, cool. So if we can vacate Alpha 6, then we're gonna go auto brake off. If we have to vacate Echo 4, 1910, well, theoretically it's auto brake medium. I tell you what, we'll tell them we're unable for that.
Maybe 260, or do you need an odd level?
We'll go auto brake low. So there is one more company message. Let's see what we got.
Yeah, I cannot be a flight level 270.
Perfect, that's a climbing to flight level 270.
Message, Sigmat for Bremen, severe icing. From the surface to flight level 100. Okay, that's copied, thank you. Alright, so all that lovely stuff is done. Okay, well, I'll quickly say goodbye to our passengers, and then we can start the briefing. I'll tell you what, let's actually do the briefing first. So, Logo 3 Delta arrival for an ILS approach runway 15 in Hamburg. Now let's select the runway overrun protection to wet. Okay, ILS approach runway 15, cold temperature correction is necessary. The corrected MSA is 2,400 and the corrected minimum 285. The go around is straight ahead left turn, climbing 4,000. We don't need to correct that since it's above the minimum. And extra fuel and time is 24 minutes. Alright, so the approach is going to be flown with flight director guidance and using the autopilot. Config full, idle reverse, auto brake low, vacate the runway to the left hand side, and as briefed earlier, Echo 4 not really a good option. Yeah, apart from that, stop margin is about 1,000 meters, and I'll stop. Stop margin is about 1,000 meters, vacate to the left, and I've got no hotspots for our taxi in. Apart from that, nothing special, nothing non-standard. Condor 3 Papa Kilo, go.
Not 3 Papa Kilo, correct Bremen radar 125855.
125855, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, schönen Abend.
Flight 10 4 Romeo Kilo Düsseldorf.
Bremen, schönen guten Abend, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, Flight Level 250.
On the 3 Papa Kilo, Bremen radar contact, descent flight level 180, hold over at Nolgo as published.
Descending flight level 180, hold over Nolgo, request EAT, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. Descend all flight level 180 blue.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo for now, EAT 2110.
2110, Condor 3 Papa Kilo.
Okay,
flight level 180 blue, mark descent out blue.
Confirm holding at 140.
Okay, so hold over Nolgo, EAT 2110.
Hold also at 140.
So let's see, that is 20 minutes. We have 24 minutes extra with this weather. No, not going to do that.
Descend 1101 Charlie Tango.
That is definitely not going to be possible here. So let's see which options we've got available.
Finnair 26 Juliet, descend, correction, Finnair 26
in any case, let's already put the fasten seatbelt signs on. And well, EAT 2110, nope, not happening.
Right now it's 26 Foxtrot, descend flight level 120.
Okay, so yeah, then let's see what our options are. ATSU, AOC menu, weather ATIS.
Yes, what's for you? I always get confused with the call sign.
Let's get Hannover, let's get Bremen, let's get Berlin.
26 Foxtrot A firm, descend flight level 120.
Alright, get me those weathers, please.
Hello, Lufthansa 15 Lima, passing 8500 to 10,000.
Here we go. Hannover, overcast 200, minus 2 degrees, 9903, temporary 3000 meters visibility. Bremen, 0907, 5000, overcast 500. And temporary overcast 400. Berlin, 0909, freezing drizzle in Broome. Also not very good. Okay, none of those is really good. Let's see, we need the ATIS for Hannover, see what is going on there. Hannover, arrival for MCDU, send. Okay, so, runway 09 is in use. Couple taxiway closures. Overcast 200, minus 2993.
Continue your descent, flight level 130.
But it says nothing about low visibility procedures in there. Okay, well, if they are not using LVP, that is a problem. So let's just check with ATC.
Charlie, dem radar contact, proceed turn left, direct Rizzo, descend flight level 220.
Turn left, direct
Alt start.
Rizzo, and descend
Alt.
to 0.
Let's already make it slow. Condor 3 Papa Kilo request.
3 Papa Kilo, go ahead.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, could you call your colleagues in Hannover and check if they are using low visibility procedures at the moment?
Yes, I will do that.
Because if they do, we can divert there. If they don't, the minimum is right at the cloud ceiling, then we can't.
Bremen radar, Lufthansa 5 Yankee, flight level 220.
5 Yankee, Bremen radar contact, I'll call you back in a minute.
So as always, no reason to hold fast, so we are already reducing our speed here. That also leads to less fuel usage, therefore giving us more time. One of the good things though, if we divert now, then we arrive with a lot more fuel than what they say here at the moment. I just want to try one thing.
Lufthansa 52 Yankee, hold overhead Bogmu as published.
If we go alternate Frankfurt, delete this, what is it going to calculate? 1.8 tons? But it would work, okay.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, Bremen.
3 Papa Kilo.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, I called Hanover Tower. They have no low-vis procedures in progress at the moment, but visibility is getting worse.
Roger, we're just checking because of the cloud ceiling which shows broken 200. Would an automatic landing be available in Hannover?
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, I will make a call again and call you back in 2 minutes.
Danke. So for now we got a hold over at Nolgo, so let's actually go ahead and insert that. So 004 left turns, maximum 230. Nolgo, hold, 004 left turns. Perfect, right from the database.
Kilo, yes, automatic landing in Hanover is possible at the moment.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, that's copied, then we'll divert to Hannover.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, Roger, cancel all loading instructions and turn right heading 160.
Holding is cancelled, right heading 160, Condor 3 Papa Kilo.
Lufthansa 15 Lima, contact Bremen 125025.
Okay, heading 160, and now things are getting busy. So, your ATC for the time being, I'll make a call to the cabin.
Flight level 110. Nordic.
Hi, Emmanuel here from the flight deck. The traffic in Hamburg is currently so busy that we would have to hold for over an hour, for which we don't have fuel, so we will be diverting to Hannover. We expect to land there in about 15 minutes, and I would appreciate for you to prepare the cabin. I do expect just to refuel and then to continue on to Hamburg, so we will be making our way there. And I'll brief the passengers now, thank you. Liebe Gäste aus dem Cockpit, Ihr Kapitän, wir haben derzeit am Flughafen Hamburg so viel Verkehr.
Turn right direct Nienburg, November India Echo.
Right direct Nienburg, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. Nienburg, insert. And that is looking good. Liebe Gäste, wir haben derzeit leider so viel Verkehr in Hamburg, dass wir für über eine Stunde in die Warteschleife müssten, wofür wir derzeit nicht genügend Treibstoff an Bord haben. Wir weichen deshalb jetzt nach Hannover aus, erwarten, dass wir dort auftanken und dann unseren Flug nach Hamburg fortsetzen. Die Kabinenbesatzung wird Ihnen in Kürze weitere Anweisungen geben. Wir bedanken uns für Ihr Verständnis und melden uns dann am Boden in Hannover wieder bei Ihnen. Vielen Dank für Ihr Verständnis. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. Due to traffic jam in Hamburg, we would have to expect a holding for over an hour, for which we currently do not have the required amount of fuel. Therefore, we are diverting to Hannover to refuel the aircraft, and then we will continue our flight to Hamburg after refueling. We from the flight deck will get back to you with more information when we have landed in Hanover. For now, please do follow the cabin crew's instruction. Thank you very much for your attention, and we will get back to you later. Alright, so cabin is briefed. Confirm that Condor 3 Papa Kilo, descent level 110.
Yes, Condor 3 Papa Kilo, descent flight level 110.
Thank you, descending 110, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. Thrust idle, open descent, alt flight level 110 blue. Alright, so, Nienburg, new destination, Echo Delta Delta Victor, insert. Arrival, let's just check that ATIS again. ATIS Papa Romain use. 09 left, only. Radar vectors, ILS 09 left, okay. So, Hannover, arrival, ILS 9 left, Zulu, Do we have a Nienburg transition? Yes, we do. Insert.
Unfortunately, no further ATC available. Monitor Unicom 122.8.
Shrouded 1228, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. For real? I know that this is in his airspace. He's probably just too busy to actually offer the ATC. And I did select the alternate because they had ATC available. They had both an approach as well as a tower. And now they just left. Oh, lovely. Well, see, that's part of the reason why I don't really like recording things like these on VATSIM. Because, yeah, ATC just leaves, and then you're stranded without. Alright, well, at least the tower is online at the moment. I just sent him a very quick message asking him if he would stay online. Okay, so that stuff's done, then let's go ahead and continue. Estimated fuel on board 2.9 is not going to be a problem. We'll go new alternate Hannover again. That way we should also be good on the fuel. Let's see what it's calculating. Yeah, easy going, half an hour extra. Alright, beauty. Then let's go ahead and start that setup. So, Hannover. Approach. ILS Zulu, 9 left. Pin. Here we go. Coming from Nienburg, which is up here. So basically this is going to be our routing. So let's see. Nienburg 4000. Delta Victor 630. 4000. Delta Victor 632. Maximum 210. And 3000, that's looking good. And then we continue towards Desim in 3000, 3-degree glide slope, minimum 366, and go around Delta Victor 635, 636, 195 knots, 637, and then back inbound to Nienburg, climbing 4000. MSA 2800, and that is, let's see, about 1,000 and a bit above the ground, so, well, 2,000 and a bit over the ground. Let's make the new corrected MSA 3,000 feet. That should be, well, actually a little bit more than that, so runway elevation 6 hectopascals, that is like what? 200 feet, so 2,600, so adding 300 feet, 3,100 is the corrected MSA. That means we need to correct Desim, which we are not allowed to enter on the FMS, but Delta Victor 632, so let's make that 3,300. Like that. Alright, that's inserted, the rest is all good again, and then our minimum, since this is going to be an automatic landing, is going to be 200 feet. Actually, tell you what, let's get that chart here. That's easier, isn't it? Cat 3 ILS, RVR, 75 meters. Okay, so we'll call it no decision height. Then let's quickly get the rest of the weather again. Arrival ATIS. Hannover ATIS Papa. Runway news 9 left. And the weather is 100 at 9. The temperature is -2. And the QNH over there is 90903. Okay, no decision height is in there. Config full is selected. And the engine out acceleration. Let's just see, missed approach 4000. Corrected MSA 3.1, so we do 3.1. Okay, that's looking good. Extra fuel 41 minutes is also fine. Okay, so let's continue our descent down to 4,000. And since we're basically approaching 10 over here, light, signs, EFIS, LS. Okay. And GPS primary, high accuracy. Cabin crew, prepare for landing. Okay, perfect. All done. Alright, lovely. So all that good stuff is done. And then we do need a taxi chart. So airport and taxi. Let's see, landing on 9 left is up here. So we'd want to vacate in Lima ideally. So let's do that. Landing calcs. Going to Hannover, runway 9 left, and the weather is looking good. Landing weight as well. Calculate. What do we have here? Mike and November. Well, that's missing something, isn't it? Yeah, Lima. No, Mike and November is a little bit too far back. Alright, anyway, Lima, well, what's that? Pretty much in the middle of the runway. Might actually not be able to make that, huh? Okay, tell you what, in that case we'll just use auto brakes low, runway dry, well no, runway wet just to be safe, and that's it. Alright, cool, so all that stuff is basically done. Alright, cool. So I'll quickly give him a shout via voice just to ensure that we can actually do the automatic landing. Well, in the real world I do that on set number 2, so hey, why don't we do the same? Hannover Tower, schönen guten Abend, Condor 3 Papa Kilo.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, Hannover Tower, hallo.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, estimated time of arrival in 10 minutes. We request an automatic landing on 09 left. Could you ensure the clearance criteria are met?
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, A firm, I'll keep the cut touring points free.
Vielen lieben Dank, then we call you back on final, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. Alright, tell you what, 1228 and 12018, no, we don't need to monitor that, so leaving as frequency again for now. Alright, cool, so all that stuff is done. Speed. Well then, set QNH, and that's 90903 this time. And 993 is cross-check passing 7,500 now. Checked. Okay, so let's do the revised briefing. So now we're coming in for an ILS approach runway 09 left, and it's the ILS Zulu approach that we will be doing. We are doing this with the automatic landing, no decision height, and diversion option to Hamburg is still available if needed. It shows us 34 minutes extra. Well, it's probably going to be a little bit less. Also, let's assume threats at destination, so give me 45 minutes here, then we have 21 minutes extra. So basically one extra attempt. Alright, flight director guidance, full automatic landing, config full, maximum reverse, well, sorry, idle reverse, and low auto brake. We'll vacate the runway probably at the end, depending on how long it's going to take, and we've got nothing special or non-standard for this one. So just to confirm our tasks on the arrival. CM2 monitors the FMA and calls mode changes below 350 feet. So after the CM1 called land at 200 feet, we basically call out any of those mode changes. In addition to the approach briefing, let's just talk about the standards here that we've got for this approach. So it's going to be an automatic landing. The aircraft is Cat 3 capable and approved. The airport is Cat 3 capable and approved. The crew is also certified. And the minimum is no decision height, 75 meters RVR. We currently have broken cloud, so the cloud base in 200, so it should not be any problem. We talked about the task sharing and the call out, and for the go around we will be using reduced go around thrust, setting course directly back to Hamburg, which has good weather conditions, and then we'll just have to declare minimum fuel, and that's basically it. Alright. That's pretty much it. So if you've got nothing to add, then our briefing is completed. We just have to tell the cabin that they got to turn all those mobile phones off, and I'll just quickly do that myself here. Liebe Gäste aus dem Cockpit, noch einmal Ihr Kapitän, da wir in Hannover aufgrund von tiefen Wolken eine automatische Landung durchführen werden, bitten wir Sie jetzt, alle Ihre Handys komplett auszuschalten. Ich wiederhole noch einmal, nicht nur in den Flugmodus, sondern komplett auszuschalten. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Ladies and gentlemen, once again your captain speaking. Since we are going to do an automatic landing due to low visibility conditions in Hannover, we request you not just to turn your mobile phones to flight mode, but to turn them completely off. We repeat, please turn all your electronic devices completely off. Thank you. Alright, and that is done. So then we've basically done everything. All constraint start is sent blue, and 3000 is selected up here. Approach phase is active, and managed speed. Okay, approach checklist. Barrel ref, QNH 903, seatbelts on, minimum, no DH, auto brake, low, engine mode selector, norm, approach checklist complete. Alright, flaps 1. Speed checked, flaps 1. Hannover traffic, Condor 3 Papa Kilo on a left base for an ILS runway 09 left. Descent alt 3000 blue. Flaps 2. Speed check, flaps 2. Let's go to 170 knots for now. Don't want to get too slow here. Thrust idle. Alright, speed, vertical speed. And we are cleared for the approach. CAF dual, autopilot 1 and 2, glide slope, localizer blue. Alright, I'm excited to see how this is gonna go now. I honestly gotta say, I didn't anticipate the diversion. And if they didn't have the holdings in Hamburg, we definitely would not have diverted. But, yeah, why not? Something interesting for once. So, localizer mode should really engage now. Lockstar, there we go. Hannover Tower, schönen guten Abend. Condor 3 Papa Kilo, established ILS 09 left.
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, Hannover Tower, moin, wind 09 degrees, 10 knots, runway 09 left, clear to land.
Runway 09 left, clear to land, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. Okay, lovely. And Condor 3 Papa Kilo, can you confirm the current cloud ceiling and visibility, please?
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, ceiling is 200 feet, visibility 3100 meters.
Both copied, thank you. Alright. So, that's all looking good. All easy going. Lock. It did take it quite a while to recapture that localizer from the initial overshoot, but hey, here we go. Engine anti-ice on. And then let's start dimming those lights so that we can actually see something outside for the landing. Blast slope star. Go around altitude 4000 set. Manage speed. Glass loop. Okay, so standard procedures, gotta be stabilized by 1000. And I gotta say, this looks quite amazing. I mean, we kinda can see the roads down there. I hope that the clouds are gonna get a little bit thicker by the time we reach the airport. But overall, looks really beautiful. All of this. Alright, gear down. Flaps 3. Speed check, flaps 3. Ooh. Man, those lights definitely have an effect. So I may consider turning the lights off later on for the landing. Flaps full. Speed check, flaps full. Landing checklist, econ memo, landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. So it is absolutely allowed to turn the landing lights off for an automatic landing, because if you got a thick cloud coverage like you can see over here, and you got these super bright lights, then it can just become super difficult to actually be able to see any of the approach lights or runway lights. Now, we are fully certified for a Cat 3 no decision height landing, so we should absolutely be able to land without seeing anything. Like with no D8, you literally don't see anything until the plane touches down and the nose starts coming down. But yeah, look at that, approach lights inside, boring. The sim could do this better, much better. In the real world, you'll probably start seeing the approach lights just about at 200 AGL. But since we don't know whether it might get any worse again, we are going to continue the automatic landing here. And we haven't briefed for anything else anyway.
Approaching 09 left.
Checked. So we do have landing clearance and everything up here is done. Yeah, we can see everything, so we don't need to turn any of those lights off.
500. 400. 300.
Land.
300.
Continue. From now on, the captain would exclusively be looking outside, the first officer inside.
50.
Flare.
30. 20. 10. Retard, retard, retard. 10. 5.
Roll out. Beautiful. That was great. Okay, spoilers, reverse green, decel. That was a fantastic landing. Very well done, FS Labs. 70 knots. And we can easily make that exit. Alright, manual brakes. Looks rather snowy. So let's be careful here. Might be slippery. Okay, autopilot off. And here we go.
Condor 3 Power Mike, willkommen in Hannover. Continue via Lima, hold shot of Mike, cross runway 09 center.
Continue Lima, hold shot Mike, crossing 09 center, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. Alright. So we continue Lima, hold shot Mike, and crossing the center runway is approved. And let's clean that up. I do not think icing is gonna be any problem here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched on.
Approaching 09
Okay, and we're cleared across.
Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you.
Okay, so where is the parking chart?
Condor 3 Papa Kilo, taxi to gate 7 via Lima, Lima 1 and Alpha 1.
Gate 7 via Lima, Lima 1 and Alpha 1, Condor 3 Papa Kilo. Vielen lieben Dank und einen wunderschönen Abend.
Danke dir auch.
Alright, we don't need the anti-ice down here any longer. So, Lima is over here, and now parking stands. Lima, Lima 1, Alpha 1, gate 7. Okay. Let's see if we can get some GSX for that. I do think we can actually control that through the EFB. Connections. And services. No? No. Okay, I don't care. Alright, so we're in Lima 1 over here. Let's try one more time. GSX. Alpha 1 is to the left. And of course GSX doesn't work. Okay, then we park ourselves. So, one of the advantages of an early diversion like we just did is that if you look at the fuel, 3000 kilos, plenty of fuel to have plenty of options. That's why I immediately asked for the expected approach time. He gave us one, we knew it didn't work, so very easy decision to divert straight away. And then you actually land with a lot of options in your fuel tank as well. Alright, and here is gate 7. So, no guidance system, which is of course expected with GSX and operative. And then we can just park her over here. So, APU bleed on, parking brake is set, and APU bleed is confirmed. Shutdown 1, shutdown 2, cabin crew, all doors in park. Cabin crew, all doors in park. I like the fact that they record your voice there. Okay, the bacon is going off, and then engines are pretty much off, slides are disarmed. Okay, and here we are. So, I think we forgot the after landing checklist. Radar and predictive wind shear off, and parking checklist. Parking brake hot shocks, brake set, engines off, wing light off, and fuel pumps off. Parking checklist complete. Alright, and that's it for the time being. So, the brand new FS Labs A321neo. Very nicely simulated, I gotta say, and this diversion just worked absolutely fine here as well, including the automatic landing. So, now it's up to you guys. Leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. And what is my sim doing here? Like, comment, and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on the channel, and if you're up for some more flights, then, as always, be sure to put it down into the comments, subscribe to the channel, and if you really love what I'm doing, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.